Hey y'all, I am Joy, and welcome to the NFL Pickems podcast, where my friend Steve and I, as always, will be going over the previous week of NFL action and what we think will be coming in the following week. So, how are you?
Absolutely, Joy. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's been a very long day, and I'm very happy to be kind of settling down a little bit with some good old NFL
We hope,
talk.
yeah, we hope we're welcome distraction from your regular holiday routines there, whether it be in the car there and getting sick of listening to who Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," or on Christmas Day there when the kids are unwrapping their gifts there and playing with loud toys.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's kind of what we want. We want to be an addition to your holiday plans, even if it's the day after. I think that's a fun little way to do it. Just to preface this, Steve and I are recording this podcast on Monday night, so it is before the Packers and Saints game even begins. So we do not know how that game is going to go. We both picked the Packers to win, but
Absolutely.
if they lose, you'll have a happy joy on your hands, and if they win, then that just adds to our win total. So, with that in mind, the stats that you'll be seeing scroll at the top of the screen will be missing that game, win or loss. But what I did do is I made up two stat sheets for each outcome. So,
Mm-hmm.
for the first one, if the Packers win, this is what we're looking at. I am in first, Steve is in second, followed by Beegers and then John. SDS, Draz, Rev, Savage Owl, Buff, Papa Agron, and Troll round us out there. The Alone Game's got a boost because Papa Agron and Buff decided to go ham on it. So Papa Agron has 3 Alone Games to Buff's 1. Should the Packers win, our Alone Games is at 6 and 20 for the record. And should the Saints win, that bumps up to 7 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
The overall order of the standings doesn't change depending on the outcome, so that was thankfully very easy to do.
True.
But now it is finally time to go back over and discuss the 15 games that we do know from the previous week. So first up, we are going to go over Game of the Week, which we have a lot of things we could have picked for it. The Vikings game was a good one. The Cowboys game was a good one. Denver and their crazy ending was a good one. But Steve and I decided we are going to go with Eagles and Commanders.
Obviously, there.
Yeah. Even though we got that one
Nope.
wrong,
True.
it was so good.
Yeah, nobody could have predicted what would have happened to Jalen Hurts during that game there with the concussion.
That is true. Now, the question that I'm having is how will he be next week? Do you think he's going to still be able to play, or are they going to keep him in concussion protocol?
Yeah, that's a tough one to call, basically.
Right. I didn't hear anything out of their camp about it. I can go ahead and take a quick peek here. He was ruled out in the first quarter, and Kenny Pickett was also hurt in that game.
Oh,
so yeah, so both of their quarterbacks were hurt in the Commanders games. So I'm assuming that since it was, I don't know how severe of a concussion it was. I didn't see the hit, but I'm assuming that he would probably play in week 17. Considering it's not a short week for them because they don't play, I think, until Sunday, right?
Sunday, correct.
Yeah, so they would have that full week of rest. So it's not like they're in a short week situation. So I think he will play against Dallas. But if he doesn't, that definitely changes some things.
Exactly. And of course, freaking Jaden Daniels there.
Freaking Jaden Daniels, he's really just been a thorn in your side all season. He has just been that player for you where just when you think things are going well, he steps in to ruin it. So
Exactly. Like the Grinch at Christmas.
yeah, he is your personal Grinch. And honestly, we are here for that side lore. I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
All right, and then if I can get my tabs to cooperate, we have our shock of the week, which is just simply that the Panthers won. Like,
Yeah.
they not only did they win, but they took Arizona to overtime, which was surprising in its own right. But then they pulled it off, and I'm very happy for them. I said last week during our podcast that next year is going to be fun for the Panthers. I think that they're going to finally kind of put some pieces together, gain a little bit of momentum, hopefully have a good off season, and they could be something next year, which is very encouraging and kind of fun.
True. Get some insurance there for Bryce Young there.
Right, yeah, I'm thinking like maybe a few offensive weapons, more receivers, because I don't know if Adam Thielen is going to really be around much. So their run game, though, is fantastic. So if they can get the receiving game into play and maybe a little bit stronger on defense, I think they'll be very, very good next year, which is encouraging. Really scary for the South, but as somebody who likes kind of up-and-comers and underdogs, it's very encouraging. And then also with that loss, it did knock Arizona out of playoff contention, which is funny because they were leading their division.
Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like I really do like Trey McBride on that team, and so I don't think he got a single touchdown, despite how often he's been targeted. Unless he finally did get a touchdown in this last week's game, but I don't remember seeing that he did. So let me go ahead and take another look at that. Trey McBride, how did you do? Targets receiving. Yeah, exactly. Touchdowns. Nope, he did not. He was targeted 4 times, caught it 3 times, and had 20 yards, but no touchdowns. So he went the entire season so far without having a single receiving touchdown, which is bizarre to me. All right, and then we have our regrets of the week, and mine is pretty simple. It's just trusting Jacksonville to do literally anything.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, just point blank, just trusting Jacksonville to do anything right. That's my regret.
Sure. Mine would be trusting Baker Mayfield there to go into Dallas there and beating the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they were kind of losing most of the game, it was bad. It was bad all around, and considering Dallas isn't exactly a good team this year, that's pretty telling for the South. And then we have our disappointment of the week. We have the Rams and Jets simply because of how low scoring it was. I fully expected the Rams to be able to perform better than they did.
True. Obviously, their low scoring game there. Thanks a lot there, Stafford and Aaron Rodgers for coming up with the most boring game in history.
Yeah, shockingly. Yeah, it was 19-9. So, I mean, at least the Rams did find the end zone. I will give them credit for that. It was better than last time when they beat the Niners 12-6. So, it really does feel like they used up all of their offensive points in the Bills game. Because, like, now they just have nothing left over.
True.
That is crazy to me. But now, again, we don't have the Monday night game that we can base things off of, so we are just going to dive straight into week 17.
Absolutely. And before we start there, I have a question to ask all the fans listening to this podcast there. Yeah. On Christmas Day, there's going to be 2 games that aired on Netflix there. The big question is, to anybody listening to us there is, will you be watching the game on Netflix? And if you are you worried about buffering issues similar to what happened with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight?
That is a very good
in the
question.
comments below.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So if you are going to be able to watch those games, how worried are you about the signal quality and the like? Because honestly, this is new grounds for the NFL. They are testing live through Netflix. The WWE is moving Raw to Netflix, so they're going to be testing their live on that as well. So Netflix is kind of dipping into the sports world, and considering that they did have a lot of connectivity issues with the Paul and Tyson fight, I'm hoping that they got all of that kind of figured out. But this is going to be an interesting test pattern, and if it goes well for the NFL, I think they're just going to move more games to a streaming mindset, which, as somebody who doesn't do that,
Amazon Prime.
Right, exactly. But I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL wants to do more streaming-based content in general. Like,
Sure.
they're kind of already doing that with the NFL Sunday and NFL Ticket on YouTube and all of that. Yeah. So, like, it feels like they're moving away. Yeah, yep, exactly. And Peacock, Amazon, now Netflix. So they're just kind of like, I feel like they're trying to get away from airing it over air broadcasting, which, again, as somebody who doesn't really do streaming, it kind of, it's a little concerning for me, because, like, I don't want to lose out on the content just because I don't do a bunch of different subscriptions, right? So.
True. Yeah. But in Canada, we're so lucky there. Games that are supposed to be on Netflix are going to be aired on free TV where we are.
Yeah. Maybe we should all become Canadian.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Unless Donald Trump decides to impose more tariffs.
Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms that I could dive into, but my heart rate wouldn't allow it. So we need to, let's just back it down.
Yeah.
And
sorry for bringing up the political card.
No, you're good. It's just I feel like it's safer for me to stay in my lane, because if I veer out of my lane, I'm gonna say some stuff that I shouldn't. So I am an NFL podcaster. This is what we do.
True.
With that being said, our first Christmas Day game up is the Chiefs at the Steelers.
Yeah, obviously, two teams there coming off so-so performances on Saturday there.
Let me take a look here. We had, the Steelers did get mollywopped by the Ravens, and then the Chiefs actually did fairly well against Houston. So they played a decent team for a change here and actually performed well against them instead of it being a really close game. So I think they did okay.
Yeah, and obviously Patrick Mahomes, their ankle is holding up really well there.
It remarkably is, isn't it? It's almost like that short that I posted not too long ago was kind of true about needing to prepare for Mahomes' annual Superman game, where his ankle gets hurt and then he comes back to play anyway, and he plays just as good as he always was, but the perception is that he's some kind of superhuman for being able to play in the first place. So I'm perturbed that I was right, but cool, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. But don't forget, last year when the Chiefs played on Christmas Day, they lost to the Raiders there, out of all teams.
What a difference a year makes, because like now you can't even imagine the Raiders beating anybody, let alone the Chiefs. So it's what a time we find ourselves in. So this for me is lovingly known as the Gamer Duo Thirst Bowl, because we have Travis Kelce on one side and Mr. TJ Watt on the other. So who do you have in this Thirst Bowl?
Yeah, I'm thinking there. It could be a close game there. Maybe it could even be one of my specialty games.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to a field goal. I can definitely see it.
True. And I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. I'm going with the Steelers at home to beat the Chiefs.
God, I wanted to. I really wanted to. I couldn't do it.
You can't?
I can't do it. I can't. I think the Steelers kind of prove that their offense is subpar when it's facing a decent defense, and the Ravens' defense isn't even good. And they still struggled. And I think that the Chiefs' defense is legit. I think it's the defense is what's going to win them that game. It's not going to be on Mahomes.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we have our first split.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't. We are very split happy, and considering that I'm only 2 games up on you, I'm concerned. All right. So with that anxiety-fueled decision out of the way, now we have the aforementioned Ravens going to Houston, who unfortunately have lost Tank Dell for the foreseeable future after dislocating his everything. His entire knee exploded. Yeah, ACL, kneecap.
True.
His whole leg just dislocated. It was such a gruesome injury. I watched it a few times because I'm morbid like that. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It was sad.
It was.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to him there.
Yeah, hopefully he can recover well. And also, to people who are getting on CJ Stroud for showing emotion on the field at the time of the injury, y'all need to check yourself. Okay, this is somebody who he has called his best friend on that team. And knowing how hard he worked to get here and to stay here and to produce, to see him go down to a gruesome injury like that, of course it made him emotional. And I, for one, am happy that he was able to show that kind of emotion on the field. Because, there's not a lot of quote-unquote men who would allow themselves to do that. And so I commend the kid for showing emotion for his friend like that. It was very touching.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Hopefully CJ Stroud will find some more weapons to help him out there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's gonna have to be Nico Collins and Joe Mixon. I think that do most of this and step up. The problem is, I've seen how Baltimore's defense finally came together and did a thing, and they were able to contain the run game of the Steelers pretty well. And Joe Mixon struggled against the Chiefs' defense, so I think that they're going to struggle again. I really do, unfortunately.
Exactly there. Yeah.
I would love for them to get a win for Tank Dell, but I don't know.
Yeah, and obviously they don't have any defense to stop King Henry there.
Right,
in my opinion.
Also, again, it didn't really matter because I won my fantasy playoff in a bit of a landslide. Just gonna put that out there. I did kind of dominate that matchup, but having Derrick Henry on a 4th and 1, and you didn't go for it. So I'm glad that the Ravens won that one, but I would have liked to see Derrick Henry get a touchdown. I was very sad that they did not go for it on 4th and 1. Maybe I'm just spoiled because my team goes for it on 4th all the bloody time. So maybe I'm just spoiled, but I was hoping that they would. Sure. But so for this game, I personally am taking the Ravens. So what do you say?
100% agree with you there. I'm going with the Ravens on the road to beat the Texans just to stay on Beaker's nice list.
Yeah, we don't want any Cole. Santa Beegs. So
Exactly.
we are going to stay on your good side, and we're going to go with the Ravens here. Now, next week,
True.
the cold don't matter because it's after Christmas. So then we can kind of be a little bit more snarkified towards you. But for now, we're going to be in your good graces.
True.
All right, so then next up on the list, now that it is after Christmas, we have the Seahawks and the Bears.
Yeah. On Boxing Day up here in Canada, we call it.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah. And obviously, we know your model with the Bears there.
Frickum.
Exactly there.
Big frickum.
Yeah. And obviously, Seahawks there, they showed some heart there against the Vikings there.
They did, but I join Mr. Brian Branch in the disappointment. Seattle, you had one job, 2 weeks in a row. We can't count on y'all to do anything. All you had to do was beat the Packers and beat the Vikings, and you ended up losing both of those games.
Exactly.
That was literally all you had to do. And now, to get first place, the Lions have to rely on the Packers to win.
Yeah.
Do you know how messed up that is, Seattle?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to rely on the Packers for anything, but we are. Like, dude. Pain. But that being said, I don't really care who the Bears are fighting in this case. I'm not going to go with them.
Yeah. Nope.
They're the Bears.
Nope. Yeah. I'm just scared of what they'll look like in 2025 there, and you'll be throwing tantrums there every week there.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of talk about Mr. Ben Johnson going there. And what does kind of hurt in a future casting kind of way is how open he seems to the idea. I personally would like to see him literally anywhere else. But if he wants to take that on, I can understand the draw. They have a young quarterback who's shown flashes of potential with, if you put good pieces around him. They have a solid run game with Swift. Their defense is not horrible, or at least has room to improve. They have draft picks for days because the Panthers are stupid. So to be fair, the Bears are a very lucrative landing spot if ownership can get out of the way, which I don't know that they can. But they're a lucrative spot, and I do wish him the best, but he has to also understand that if you betray Detroit and go to the Bears, you will be subject to an onslaught from the fan base. Every single game that you and the Bears have with Detroit, it's not going to be fun for you. If One Pride will boo Matthew Stafford's children, what do you think they're going to do to you once you show up with Caleb Williams in tow? So it's not going to be a fun time for you, but I can also understand why you would want to go. So exactly. I am reserving my judgment. If I'm the Lions, I blank check him to stay, but that's just me.
Sure. And obviously, with Seattle, they're fighting there only barely to try to catch the Rams in the NFC West there.
Yeah, I think Week 18 is going to decide the division. I think that's what the NFL wants, and that's what the fans want. So that's kind of what I kind of see happening there, is that's going to determine who gets the division, who makes the playoffs from a wild card berth as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that division and how the South kind of shakes out. But for this game, pretty sure we're in agreement. We're both going to take Seattle here.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Good. I don't have to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we go ahead and move on to Saturday, apparently, where we have the Chargers and New England.
Yeah. Here's another team that have showed a lot of heart there, but unfortunately came up short in the Patriots there.
I absolutely loved that game, though. Having the Patriots actually winning for a while was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm very sad that they could not pull off the upset.
True. Yeah. But bear in mind, it was against Josh Allen. He's already a lock for the MVP there.
Right. Well, but that was why I was so happy with how it was going, because it proved that the Bills are beatable, right? Because like if the Patriots can take it to them, and previously the Lions nearly came back to beat them with a half-broken team, it proved that the Bills are beatable, and I truly believe that every good team needs a game where they just get punched in the mouth. And I think that the Bills and Patriots game was their punch in the mouth, because it showed that they're not immortal, right? So I was very happy with that game. I'm sad that the Patriots couldn't come away with the upset, but
happy with the win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm happy that they made it close. They only lost by 3, which was stunning.
Yeah. And obviously with the Chargers, as we discussed there, with that free kick there at the end of the first half there.
Right, yeah, we do need to go over that, because a lot of people were Googling what the heck the free kick rule was. So, in a randomly obscure rule in the rulebook, a free kick is a kickoff, safety kick, or an onside kick that puts the ball in play to start a free kick down. It is typically only made at the end of a half, because if it's unsuccessful, the play would result in a turnover. And so they managed to get 3 points out of it, thanks to Dicker the kicker converting a free kick for 3 points to end the first half.
True.
It was also the longest fair catch free kick ever. So, they used, obscure rules to their advantage, and I'm here for it. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. And then for the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And obviously the Chargers there are just about close to wrapping up a playoff spot there.
Right, it's going to be down to, I believe it was the Chargers or the Broncos? Or was it because the Broncos lost to the Chargers, now they leapfrog them?
You could be right there.
But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how that aspect works out too.
In my opinion, I think I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road to beat the Patriots there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Now, again, I would love nothing more than a Patriots upset here, because I think that would be really cool, and I kind of like what the Patriots have going forward, much like with Carolina. I think that they have something good to build off of. But, nah, I'm going to have to trust the Chargers in this one. Even though they're a Bane team, I'm going to trust them.
Yep.
Alright, and then next, speaking of Denver, we have the Broncos and Cincinnati, who are trying desperately to hold on to some semblance of hope for the playoff push.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Have you become a believer there in Bonix?
In the interest of full transparency, I've been a believer for a while. I couldn't say anything. And I'm trying really hard to not say anything now, because I want to see the season finish before I say anything about it.
Okay.
So I'm very, very reserved on how I handle discussing Denver. That's why I always toss it to the coaching, because the coaching is something we can talk about. The defense is something we can talk about. Bonix himself is not something that I am adequately prepared to talk about right now.
Yeah. And obviously with the Bengals, they're playing for next year. I see no hope for them there the last couple of games there.
To be fair, there's a chance. There is a chance. They're going to need a lot of help, but they have a chance.
Yeah. But for me, I'm going to go with the Broncos on the road to beat the Bengals and wrap up their playoff spot.
Okay. I officially hate this week because I took the Bengals.
Oh.
So now,
second split.
Now we have 2 splits and a lot of games left to go, and my first place is
teetering.
Yeah, it is very much so at risk right now. So, Joe Burrow, please be good to me.
Sure.
All right, and then the final game for Saturday, Cardinals and Rams. Do we really have to go over this one all that much?
Nah. Obviously, Arizona's out there, and the Rams are fighting for first place in their NFC West there.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks ago. I think that this is the Rams division. I think they're going to find a way to win the division despite how this season started for them. Arizona getting knocked out of it, they have a chance to play spoiler if they want to, which of course, who wouldn't want to? So they could spoil it, but I personally, 100%, I'm taking the Rams.
100% agree with you.
All right. I was hoping that we did not split there because I can't trust Arizona. They're bad at math. They always let me down. I'm no more am I trusting them. All right, now we can go to Sunday, the 29th, and we have the Jets and the Bills.
Yeah. No, to me, the Jets are just horrible. They're
oh yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers next year if he's going to another team, or because I heard rumors there he said he wants to stay and maybe help train a rookie quarterback there.
Yeah, he would definitely be the greatest of mentor to a rookie coming in.
Yeah.
Definitely, he would be down for that. I mean, why wouldn't he want to train his replacement?
Yeah. Because look what Brett Favre did for him there.
I mean, if we go back, I'm pretty sure that all Brett Favre did for Aaron Rodgers was lead by example. Which is kind of what Aaron Rodgers did for Jordan Love, too. So I don't really think there's a lot of hands-on mentoring out of that quarterback tree.
Exactly.
I think a lot of it is just, hey, kid, watch this. And then you do, and you learn. It's not really a take somebody under your wing and help them out, much like, like Baker Mayfield did that in Carolina. He actually helped people while he was there. Actually help show them the ropes a little bit and work on their form. He took a more hands-on approach. So I much prefer that to anything Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre related, but that's just me.
Sure. Yeah. And obviously with Buffalo there, Josh Allen needs to intensify his game there if they hope to chase Kansas City for that top spot in the AFC.
Right, yeah. They want the number 1 seed, and that's why they're still playing all out instead of kind of resting on their laurels a little bit, because they need Kansas City to slip up, and then they need to keep winning. And to be fair...
Like I discussed earlier, that could be a possibility there if the Chiefs slip up there on Christmas Day there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly... Weeks 17 and 18, those are not going to be easy games for Kansas City. So they could conceivably lose both of those, and the Bills win both of those. And, next thing you know, it's flipped. And then the playoffs would go through Buffalo, which is terrifying if you're an AFC team.
True.
So, yeah, they need this one, but honestly, their defense needs to be able to stop the Jets because they kind of let the Patriots walk all over them a little bit. Early on, like in the first half, the first quarter, they let them run all over them. And then once they finally settled down, they started getting some turnovers, some punch outs, and then they could kind of get clicking. But they need to full throttle from the get if they want to kind of snag the number 1 seed.
True. Yeah. But I think we're going to be in agreement there because I know you really hate Aaron Rodgers there. And
I do.
We're both taking the Bills there at home, obviously.
I don't use that word lightly. You know, hate is such a strong word. So I'm not going to say that I hate him. I just have an extreme, completely justified bias against him.
True.
So it's not hate, because I don't hate anybody. I just supremely do not like you. So, yes, Bills win.
Yep.
All right, and then next up, this is the game that I picked last. We have the Raiders and the Saints.
Yeah.
We don't know how the Saints are going to do. So.
Yeah. Because obviously these are two teams playing for 2025 there.
Yep. Exactly.
Question is for the Saints is will Alvin Kamara be back there for next season there?
For next season, I'm pretty sure because I think he signed a 2-year extension earlier on in the year.
Oh, okay.
So
I did not know that.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, Troll, you can go ahead and correct me on that. But I was pretty sure that I seen that he signed an extension, so he's good to go. Okay. Injury-wise, I don't know if he's good to go for this week, but for my fantasy sake, I hope that he is. So let's hope.
Yeah. And obviously with the Raiders, they're coming off that huge win, but bear in mind it was against the Jags there.
Right. Like I will say I was surprised that they held on to win. I was really thinking that Jacksonville was going to be able to get down there. All they had to do was get in the end zone. How hard could it be? Apparently very if you're the Jags. So
yeah.
I'll eat that loss. That's fine. But I personally don't really see the Raiders winning this one.
No.
Because I think that the run game of New Orleans is going to be too strong for him.
Absolutely.
So
I imagine we'll be in agreement there.
Yep, we are in agreement, and we are taking the Saints. Next, we have on the list Colts and Giants.
Yeah, another two teams going nowhere this season. They're playing for 2025.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of that. Now that we're kind of into the end of the season, there's a lot of games that just don't like super matter, and then there's a few games that matter a lot. So, it's a give and take. You have to take some of the crap to get to the good. The Giants did start Drew Lock. They listened to me, but it didn't really help them because Atlanta's defense scored half of Atlanta's points. So, do with that what you will. And then the Colts, they did beat Tennessee, but they let Tennessee hang around, and they were nearly beaten by Mason Rudolph. So,
true.
Oh dear.
Excellent. So I imagine we'll be in agreement and take the Colts on the road to beat the Giants, or?
Yeah, we are. I would love nothing more than Drew Lock to get a win. I've been saying that since I knew that he signed with them. Like, play this kid and let him get a win. That hasn't worked out.
Exactly.
But, I still want him to. But no, I am going to go ahead and trust the Colts in this instance. I'm trusting them.
Yep.
All right, next we have what could be a pretty important game. We have the Cowboys and Philadelphia.
The question is for the Eagles there is, how is the condition of James there?
That is a very, very important question. you know, like we talked about earlier, I would assume that he's going to play in something that's this important, but you never really know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he might be too hurt to go, and if that's the case, they're going to be in some trouble, and it's going to be nothing but Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if he doesn't go there, and who knows how banged up Kenny Pickett will be.
Right, yeah. So who is their third string quarterback? That's a good question. Because if we're going to future cast and Jalen Hurts and Kenny Pickett are not able to go, what's going to happen there? So let me take a look.
Yeah, I don't think they. Yeah, I was going to say it could be Gardner Minshew, but he's with the Raiders there.
He is. Their third quarterback is Tanner McKee.
Oh boy.
I do not know who that is. Oh, he's a rookie. He has 1 year of experience. Man is 6'6", 231. So there's that. He's a large individual. So I could see running some like Tim Tebow Wildcat options with him to go along with having Saquon Barkley if they need to. Hopefully they don't need to, but if they do, they have that as an option.
Yeah, but let's hope Jalen Hurts passes all concussion protocols there.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope that he's going to be able to play because honestly, Dallas is kind of being chippy right now, and I think they're more than happy to play spoiler. Yeah. If they can ruin Philadelphia, they're going to. Like, that's kind of what they want to do. Rivalry is run deep, so.
True. If that happens there, then there'll be a smile on your face there because of the Lions really want that number 1 seed there.
Yeah. Again, do you have any idea how bad it is that the Lions fan base has to rely on the Packers and the freaking Cowboys to help them? This is ridiculous. And now the Cowboys have a choice. Do we help the Lions, who we kind of hate right now, or do we help the Eagles, who we have always hated? They're really in a lose-lose situation here. I mean, they might win, but if they win, they're helping Detroit. If they lose, they're helping Philadelphia. So I don't know what you want out of this.
No way, yes.
Yeah. So let's forget about what we want. What do we think is going to happen?
Yeah. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk there. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home to beat the Cowboys.
Okay, good. When you said you were taking a risk, I thought you were taking Dallas, and I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm taking Philadelphia. All right. Next, we've got the Panthers and the BUCS in an NFC South showdown that is very, very important for Tampa.
Yeah. Obviously, the BUCS really need this game there to chase the Falcons for first place in that NFC South there.
Exactly. It's a very important game, and honestly, Carolina being able to play spoiler is hilarious, considering they've been kind of playing fairly well lately. I don't know. I think there might be a chance. This could be a heavy upset alert.
Exactly. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I'm going to go with the BUCS there at home to down the Panthers there because this is a most important win game for them because if they lose, then the Falcons clinch it all there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking the BUCS too. I'm playing smart. I'm not playing for what I want. I'm playing for what I think, right? And so I'm gonna take the BUCS at home. It makes the most sense too. Alright, then next up, this is a game that does not matter. Unless you're caring about draft position, we have the Titans and the Jaguars.
Yeah. Obviously, another two teams playing for 2025.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, I am on Tennessee's side. I think that, you know, I've been there as a fan. I've been down like that, and I can see the potential. They have a lot of potential talent on that team. And they just need a little bit of fine-tuning, and I just hope that they're patient enough to trust the process, because it's going to be rough for a year, maybe two, before you start seeing the hope begin to build. So I hope that they're patient enough to ride it out. I don't really know if ownership and GM is, so I'm hopeful, but also reserved.
Yeah. For me, this one's a no-brainer. I'm taking the Titans on the road to beat the Jags there, because without Trevor Lawrence, they're nothing.
Yeah. In the spirit of the holiday, I'm gonna go with Rudolph. Alright, and then next we've got the Dolphins and the Browns.
Yeah. Because obviously with this game, the Dolphins I really hope they really hope to back into the playoffs. But in my opinion, it's probably highly unlikely there with the Broncos and the Chargers holding on to those two final playoff spots there.
Yeah, the Dolphins are going to need some help to be able to get in, but first step of backing your way into it is to win. So for me, I think that that's exactly what they're going to do. I think they're going to win and then see where the chips fall from there. So I'm taking the Dolphins in December, which is a risk, over the Browns.
100% agree with you there.
All right, and then the final late game that got flexed, because of course they did, we have the Green Bay mother-loving Packers and the Vikings.
Yeah. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you should be cautious about the Vikings there.
I know. They're way too close. Can you just go away, please? Just go away.
Yeah, they want to leapfrog the Lions there and try to clinch that #1 seed there.
Yeah, they really do. And the important thing is, like I said with Miami, Detroit just has to win. They just have to do their own thing, stay in their lane, tunnel vision, don't pay any attention to the other teams and what they're doing, which is going to be very difficult because the Lions game comes the following day. So they're going to see what happens here, and that's going to put them in a mindset, which is scary.
True. Yeah. And I don't know about the Packers. Did they clinch their playoff spot yet, or
I
they still in the middle?
Don't know, because they're the Packers, and I didn't pay attention. I can check though. Green Bay's chances of making the playoffs are 99%. And with no chance left of winning the NFC North, the Packers will be going on the road as a wild card team in the postseason. But potentially the biggest issue for the Packers is staying ahead of Washington, which is currently 10-5 and a half game behind the 10-4 Packers. So basically, Green Bay needs Washington to lose to feel more comfortable about it. I hate that. I hate that so much.
But which of the lesser two evils are you leaning towards?
Can they tie? That'd be fun. What if they tie and just throw the entire NFC playoff race into shambles?
Exactly.
Chaos. Let chaos reign.
Yeah. For me there, I'm going to go with the Vikings at home to beat the Packers there. With apologies to you, Joy.
God dang it.
Uh-oh.
We have a third split, so guess who's at risk now of losing first place?
Uh-oh.
Green Bay I frickin' swear, if you not only give the Vikings a clear path to the number 1 seed, but you also make me lose my number 1 spot in standings, I will never forgive you.
Okay.
I will absolutely never, ever forgive the Packers for what they're about to do to me.
Oh my God.
They have so much potential to ruin my life right now. And I don't like giving them that much power. I am terrified. I am messaging John as soon as we're done recording. I don't even care that he's going to be live right now. I'm messaging him my terror. Because
he's going to lose his cookies laughing at this.
Man needs to know how much danger I'm in. Oh no. I'm gonna have to go pray to Tom Grossi. I'm gonna have to give me your blood demons, sir. I'm gonna need to make a sacrifice because I need your help. Okay. Let's see if we can at least make it an even number of splits, okay? Let's see if we can do that.
Okay.
Sunday Night Football. It's pretty important for the South and now apparently for Washington. We have the Falcons and the Commanders.
Yeah, freaking Jaden Daniels there.
Freaking Jaden Daniels and Michael freaking Penix.
Yeah.
What do we think on this game?
Yeah, the battle of rookie quarterbacks there.
Yep.
Because obviously they're right now the Falcons are teetering right now there. Ever since they benched Kirk Cousins there.
They are, yeah. And Atlanta bothers me, right? Because not only the benching of Cousins, and I kind of disagree with that decision, but once they did, that was when they decided, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to have a defense this week. You know what? I'm actually going to use Bijan Robinson this week. You couldn't have done that when Cousins was your starter. You had to wait until you benched him before you decided, I'm going to use my entire team to get the win. Like, seeing the stat lines, it really bothered me.
Yeah.
And then now that I know that Green Bay needs Washington to lose, this is even more important of a game.
Sure.
I hate everything. So, who do you have in this battle of the rookies?
Yeah. In my opinion here, I'm going to go with freaking Jaden Daniels there. Don't let me down this time to beat the Falcons there.
Yeah, let's not put that into the universe because I went with them too. So we need Washington to do good Washington things. Because I think that they're the stronger team. And the fact that I am not going with my Bane team, hopefully Atlanta doesn't upset me in more ways than one. Let's just hope for the best.
Sure.
All right, so final game of the week. It's a big one. It's the revenge. Lions at 49ers.
Yeah, obviously with the Niners there, they're pretty much toast right now. There, a lot of injuries to their offense there.
Honestly, Trent Williams going down to injury, I think, is what hurt them the most.
Yeah,
because
to me, it's Christian McCaffrey there.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Even if McCaffrey played and Trent Williams did not, you're not going to have the same kind of run game because you're not going to have that massive force on your line to help you open up those holes and make the running lanes and block for Brock Purdy the way that he's supposed to. So having your cornerstone of your offensive line go down, it hurts so much. That would be like the Lions losing Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very bad.
Yeah. And obviously the Lions there, as we discussed, are fighting to hold on to first place in the entire NFC there.
Yes, it is very... It's tight. The Commanders did their job.
Yeah.
In helping to kind of knock Philadelphia down. They need to do their job again in helping to knock the Packers down. So I'm really reliant on the Commanders, and that scares me to death again. But they pulled it off last week, so
I bet you we'll be both in agreement there and take the Lions on the road to beat the Niners.
we are. Because revenge has never felt so sweet.
True. So we only have 3 split games there this week there.
Great. I love it. I am 2 games up in the lead, and I have 3 splits with you. I love this so much.
True.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
But as far as the Packers go, you need a late Festivus miracle to happen there. To quote Kramer.
Festivus. Yes, I need that. I have never been more concerned about a Packers game than I am right now. Wow. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't realize how important that game was as a fan and for my own sake in standings. Wow. Okay.
So with that being done, it's now time to find out how our friends do with their picks in week 17.
Yes, indeed it is. Let me go ahead and pull those up because I finally got them all finished. Hopefully I can remember the order because I messed up my sheet. So we'll see how that goes. So first up, I have John, who took the Chiefs for the first. So he is on our side.
Okay.
He went with the Ravens. He went with the Seahawks, just saying frick the Bears. You right. He went with the Chargers, Bengals, Rams, Colts, and Bills. He went with the Packers, but much like me, he is unsure about it, and he is stunned, so he thinks that he's going to be on the less picked side of that game. He took the Saints, the BUCS, the Titans, the Dolphins, Eagles, Commanders, and Lions. And then there's SDS, who took the Steelers. Tomlin Devil Magic is greater than the Chiefs Devil Magic. Went with the Ravens. He went with the Bears over the Seahawks. His watch curse came back, but he hates John for speaking a Cowboys win into existence, so say goodbye to whatever Seahawks playoff hopes still remain.
Okay.
It was a pure spite pick, and I'm here for it, but good luck. And then Chargers, Bengals, Cardinals, Eagles. The BUCS win or die. That's what's at stake, and he's not going to risk watching, since apparently he's cursed. Bills, Colts, Raiders, Jags, Dolphins, Packers, Commanders. I need this. I need these Falcons to be slaughtered and put in the oven. And then he's rounding it off by taking the Lions. And then there's Troll.
Oh, my buddy.
Your favorite. Steelers, Texans, Bears, Patriots, the Broncos. Sir Steve von Hildenbrand, High Chief of the Vancouver Canucks tribe, heir to the Marv's Maples fortune. Guess what? Another one.
I have to make the pick for it.
Another one. So, Broncos, Bengals. What do you think Troll's going with?
I think he should go with the Broncos there.
All right. Broncos it is. I will pen that down.
Okay.
And then he took the Cardinals. He took the BUCS. He wants the Panthers, but this hurts the Falcons a lot more. The Jets, Giants, Vikings, Mac Jags, Browns, Cowboys, Commanders, and Niners. And then there's Buff with Steelers, Texans, Bears, Bills, Vikings, Saints, BUCS, Jaguars, Eagles, Bengals, Rams, Patriots, Giants, Commanders, Browns, and 49ers. Followed by Mr. Papa Agron, Steelers over Chiefs, Ravens over Texans, Bears over the Seahawks, Patriots over Chargers, Broncos over Bengals, Rams over Cardinals, Cowboys over Eagles. No surprise there. He is a fan of them. BUCS over the Panthers, Bills over Jets, Colts over the Giants, Raiders over Saints, Titans over Jags, Browns over Dolphins, Packers over Vikings, Commanders over Falcons, and 49ers over Lions. I don't like how many people are going with the Niners here. It's disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Figures. Chiefs, Ravens, our friend. We're on your side. Chiefs, Ravens, Seahawks, Patriots, Bengals, Rams, Bills, Jaguars, Packers, Saints, Buccaneers, Colts, Browns, Eagles, Commanders, and Lions. I appreciate you being unlike the others and actually being on my side for this one.
Yeah. We're on your nice list.
Yes, and you are on mine. Thank you, Beaks. All right, next there's Rev. Steelers, Ravens, Seahawks, Chargers, Bengals, Rams, Titans, Bucks, Colts, Raiders, Bills, Fudge Packers, Dolphins, Eagles, Commanders, and Lions. I 100% approve of that nickname for them, and it reminds me of John Madden, and I'm here for it. All right, and then we have Owl. Chiefs, Ravens, Bears, for some reason. Bills, Vikings, Saints, Panthers, Titans, Eagles, Bengals, Rams, Chargers, Giants, Commanders, Dolphins, and Lions. And then finally we've got Drats. Chiefs, Ravens, Seahawks, Chargers, Bengals, Rams, Eagles, Panthers, Bills, Colts, Raiders, Titans, Dolphins, his Packers, Commanders, and Lions. All right. Well, I'm terrified.
Sure.
So, this went not at all the way that I was expecting it to.
Sure.
Any final words on your side? Because I don't even know anymore.
Obviously, to all our friends there play the picks there, have a great Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate there.
Yep. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Christmas, Boxing Day, whatever your holiday, have a happy one.
Obviously, thanks to all our supporters there, and have a great Christmas themselves there.
You're right. To all of the loved ones watching the podcast and the channel in general, big happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. Also, special thank you to Richard, Sandra, George, and Araceli for being members of the channel. If you would also like to join that and see your name scrolling up above on this series and other videos that I do put out there, you can go ahead and check the join button as well. See if any of those perks tickle your fancy. And Steve and I will catch you back here next week on our regularly scheduled Pickems podcast this time.
The final week of the schedule there.
Of the regular season, yeah. So once we do the final week of the regular season, we'll see where the playoffs kind of line up, and I will update you guys in the community post as well as in my Discord server, link down below, for the playoff schedule for recordings and uploads and the like.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to be the start of 2025 on our recordings.
Yep, yes it will. Good lord. The fact that it's already coming up on 2025, just much like the Packers game, terrifies me.
Sure.
We will catch you guys next week for more.
Thank you all. See you all next week.